Welcome to the Learning Lab. My name is Roman Garcia. In this volume, we're going to be discussing today the issue about running. Whether it is healthy for you, whether it's not healthy for you, should I do it, should I not do it? These are important questions. Unfortunately, in the public domain, the opinions about running are all over the map. There are some individuals who say that running is healthy for you. There are other individuals that say that running is not healthy for you. Now, which is right? That is the big question, and that is a question that I think is very difficult to answer. Now, I have my own opinions, which I will share with you towards the end of this video. But first, let me just share with you some concepts or some principles that I think that you need to understand in order for you to grasp the essence of what I'm going to try and teach you today. Now, one of the principles that what I call is the exercise paradox. Now, the exercise paradox is this, simply stated. Carlos, if you can get a view of this, because I wrote it down. Now, the exercise paradox is this. An exercise paradox is a result of an exercise activity contrary to what the activity was aiming to prevent. Now, you can come back to me. Now, what does that mean? In a nutshell, it's basically this. My opinion is that most people that are involved in an exercise program are exercising under the influence of the exercise paradox. And what that is that the individual, as they progress throughout their exercise life, they start to encounter some trauma to their body. Now, mind you, when somebody is involved in an exercise program, and the only reason that somebody starts an exercise program is so they can feel healthier, not for them to feel pain or dysfunction anywhere in their body. So, in my opinion, most people that exercise nowadays, because of many reasons, but mainly because of for lack of valuable or correct information, they are training under the exercise paradox. Now, let me share with you some statistics, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to follow the statistics to determine whether running is healthy for you or may not be healthy for you, and what are some of the issues that you need to consider if you decide to start running as your primary exercise program. Now, let me share this with you. This is from an article from a major newspaper, which is titled "The United States of Fitness." Now, what this article did is it broke down exercise time and or duration and the type of exercise that's being practiced in every state. And they focus in on several states. Now, all these numbers mean is just time or duration that these individuals live in these states and the amount of time that they participate in their exercise regimen. But this is not the reason that I bring up this article. The reason I bring up this article is because most of these states, the number one exercise that is used is running. So running for the majority of the Americans is the primary exercise program that they are doing in order to stay healthy. Now let me show you this statistic. Now, apparently there has been a rise in total knee replacements. Now, this statistics is taken from Medicare patients only. Now, Carlos, I don't know if you can focus in on this. This is the statistical number of knee replacements that are being done in the United States from the year 1991 all the way to 2010. You can see the graph, the bars. It's going up, it moves up. You can see it's a straight line, straight up. Now, mind you, this is just Medicare patients. So the number is actually in the 250,000 number, or patients that are getting knee replacement according to Medicare figures. Now, mind you, this 250,000 is a lot higher because you've got a lot of individuals who are below 65 years old who are undergoing knee replacements at a much younger age than 65 years old. Now, the interesting correlation is in the the number of individuals that have decided to use running as a primary exercise form and this rapid rise in knee replacements. Now, I'm not saying that the running is causing this, but it is an interesting possible correlation between what Americans are doing as their exercise form and possibly the incidence or the cause of this rapid rise in knee replacements. Now, this is not a cause and effect relationship, but it is an interesting statistics that correlate one with the other. Now, the big question, should I run as an exercise? Is it a good exercise to perform? Does the reward outweigh the risk when I use running as an exercise form? The truth is that that question is very hard to answer. There are some individuals that have run their whole lives and never experienced any problems. And there are other individuals who run and shortly thereafter start experiencing some achiness or some problems in some of their joints in their lower extremities. It's usually the knees. Now, what is the answer to, is running healthy for the knees or not? The truth is, I don't know the answer myself, but I do have a strong opinion about it. And I would say that it all depends. It all depends on your phenotype. Now, phenotype, let me show you what phenotype means so you get an understanding. Now, Carlos, if you get this, a phenotype is just a term used by geneticists to mean is a physical structure of a person. All that means is that everybody's joints are a little bit different. Now, to simplify this word, let's break down phenotype into kind of like a mathematical equation. Carlos, if you can get this. Now, phenotype, we now know that means structure or form. Now, P means phenotype. Phenotype or structure is the sum of VH, which means hereditary, plus VE, which means environment, plus VC, that means chance. Now, if you add these three together, you will end up with a phenotype, a type of joint structure. Now, come back to me, Carlos. Now, this is my observations in the clinics over examining thousands of patients have led me to believe as a fact that depending on your phenotype is what matters when it comes to running, whether it's healthy for you or not. Now, I'm going to show you now with the help of my assistant Anna on a particular phenotype which is absolutely guaranteed to cause problems if you run with this type of phenotype. And I'm going to show you this phenotype right now so you can observe it yourself. Alrighty? So if you allow me, let's come over here. Anna, you can come over here. This is my assistant Anna, and she's going to help us with this illustration. Anna, what you're going to do is you're going to lay on your back, your head right over here. Now, Carlos, you can come to me. Now, this is by chance, my model, Anna, my assistant, has a particular phenotype with very high probabilities that if you run with this type of phenotype of a knee structure, you almost guaranteed to develop knee issues, knee or joint arthritis of the knees if you run. And I'm going to show you what that phenotype is. I'm going to show you the structure of it and the function of it so you can appreciate it. Now, Carlos, if you can get a view of this. Now Anna does not have knee problems right now. She really doesn't have any knee problems. She's a young woman, healthy woman, and she doesn't run. She exercises in other manners. She doesn't run as an exercise, which is a good thing for her. But if she was to run, she would develop problems, and I'm going to show you why. This is a particular phenotype that's guaranteed to cause arthritis if you use running as an exercise form. And eventually she would be one of those Medicare patients when she gets older who will need joint replacements. I can almost guarantee her that if she continues to run, if she runs, she will develop arthritis. Now let me show you this phenotype. Now, Anna is like a lot of women who have very pliable joints. In other words, they're very unstable joints. Men have this too, but women have a preponderance of having this phenotype. Now, observe this. Carlos, you can get a view of this. You see how high her foot comes off the mattress? You see how high it comes up? It hyperextends. Now, why does it hyperextend? It hyperextends because Anna's knee joint is very pliable. Anna functions in a not knee pattern. Everybody who has this type of phenotype functions in a not knee pattern. If Anna was to run, Carlos, if you can get this. If Anna was to run, she would develop degenerative joint condition on this outer part of her knee, right over here. Because Anna functions in a not knee pattern. Not knee patterns causes you to function in a not knee pattern. Hyperextension of the knee causes you to function in a not knee pattern, increasing loads through the lateral compartment. Now, if Anna was to run, this part of her bone, the tibia, and the fibula, right over here, will rub like two sticks. She'll develop tremendous amounts of shear stresses through the knees. And what will happen? This is what would happen. Carlos, if you can get up, now if you can get me here. This is what will happen. This is not an actual, this is not an actual true comparison, but it'll give you the idea. If Anna was to run with this type of phenotype, with increased loads occurring here in her lateral compartment as she runs, with these two bones shearing like that, creating tremendous amounts of friction, she would generate tremendous amounts of heat in her joints. That heat has nowhere to go but stay there, and it will destabilize the molecules that make up her healthy joint. It's basically something like this. She runs, and this is what will happen. She'll develop heat, just like when you light a match. It's friction. Friction creates this flame. Organically, a very similar phenomenon will occur in her joint. She will have both ends of the bones shearing against each other, generating heat. That heat has nowhere to go, and it will create entropy inside her tissue only because her phenotype is of an unstable nature. Again, so if Anna was to run, because of her phenotype, she would develop tremendous amounts of heat in her joint that has nowhere to go. So, again, the question, should I run? Should I not run? It all depends. It all depends on your phenotype. So the right way of making the decision is before you start a running program is for you to go and seek out an individual who has the right set of skills and knowledge to give you an evaluation of not only your knees, but all your joints from your hip all the way down to your ankle, to determine if you have a phenotype that predisposes you to an osteoarthritic event during the process of running. Because in order for running, most likely to initiate a osteoarthritic event in your joints, you would have to do it over a period of time. So the phenotype of your joints is the key question that needs to be answered. Do I have a phenotype that predisposes me to an arthritic event if I undertake running as my primary exercise modality? Again, Anybody who sees this video, I want to thank you for tuning in to our videos. And anybody out there that has an opinion that is not consistent with what I'm saying, I am very anxious to hear what your opinion is. I encourage debate between what I think and what somebody else thinks. So again, for anybody who's watching this video and has any opinion, please make your thoughts known to us by contacting us on this video. Thank you for watching us.